Hello everyone and happy summer. I am toasting a bagel because I want to have a quick bite before I film a video. I have been so into reading lately. That is my number one most enjoyed and most time-consuming hobby right now. I just finished this book here, The God of the Woods by Liz Moore, and I wanted to do a review before I move on to the next book and also while the thoughts are fresh in my mind. I really enjoyed this book, but I've got a lot to say about it. My reviews tend to take a while though. I usually film for an hour and a half and it's just about lunchtime. So I'm gonna have a bagel with some peanut butter and jelly, and then I'm gonna take my time to film the video. I didn't want to rush to film it or have like a little break in between to have lunch. So lunch first, video next. I just finished recording my review of this book and it only took me an hour. And that's because when I was reacting to the reviews on Goodreads, the reviews were all so short. They were like one line, and I'm not sure why, because I felt like there were a lot of things about this book that were very interesting. So now that I'm done this book, I'm trying to decide what to read next. I have a nonfiction book, but I'm not sure yet. I'm not really in the mood to read it right now. I'm quite in the mood to read fiction. My other options are I could read Monk and Robot again because I recently bought that duology when my sister was in town, but I just read that not too long ago. So my second option is taking a trip to the library, but sometimes I feel overwhelmed at the library because there are just so many choices. But I'm leaning more in the direction of going to the library. It looks like a very beautiful day out, really sunny and probably a lot warmer than it was when I went to the grocery store earlier on today. I've been trying to remember to put on sunscreen. Throughout my life, I've been very terrible at putting on sunscreen. We have this stuff from when we went to Cuba, but I did check the expiry date and it is February of 2026. So still got some time to finish it up, and I'm gonna try to remember to put on sunscreen every time I go out, especially if I go out in the afternoon. In the morning, it's not as bad because the sun isn't as strong and there's a lot more shade. But at 1 o'clock, there's not that much shade and the sun is a lot stronger than when I go out at, say, like 8 in the morning. I'm doing double duty here, protecting my skin and also using up products, which is something that I do quite enjoy doing. And yes, I just put this like banana boat stuff all over my face. It's actually fine. I find my skin reacts pretty well to sunscreen. It doesn't break out from it or anything like that. I'm happy to apply it quite liberally, and I will be wearing sunglasses. So I'm just avoiding getting too close to my eyes because I don't want the sunscreen to sting. Since I'm going out, maybe I will pop into Sephora because I need a new eyelash curler. Let me show you what happened to mine. I have had this Tweezerman eyelash curler for so long. I think this was around the time that I started my YouTube channel. It was one of my very first PR packages. It came in a brush roll, which I still use to this day for travel. And this was such a good eyelash curler. When I was using it the other day, I noticed that it was depressing more than it normally does. So I thought it was the pad, and it did look like it was like cutting into it. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna replace the pad. And as I was doing that, this entire part came off. So I don't know if you can see that separation there. So this is like ready to snap off. I don't think I'm gonna buy one today. I just wanna see what options are available. I'm so out of the makeup game. I don't know what's popular anymore. And I don't even wear mascara every day anymore. I am wearing it today, but I just put it on without curling my lashes. My lashes aren't as boop as they normally are, but it's fine. No one's looking at me that closely anyway. I'm high energy now because I've been talking, I've been recording videos, but once I get outside, that may change. It also depends how hot it is. I overheat really easily these days, so if it's too hot, I might just want to come home and sit in the air conditioning with my new book from the library. not that hot out. It's actually a beautiful day, not too humid or anything like that, but I was at the library trying to pick out a book for 40 to 45 minutes, so I lost steam on the way back and I decided to skip Sephora, save that for another day, or I'll just do some online research about the latest and greatest in eyelash curlers. I did pick out 2 books though. They're not ideal and you'll see why in a moment, but it took me so long. I kept picking out books that interested me in terms of the title or spine, how it looked. Sometimes I would skim the blurb, but I don't really like reading the blurb before I read books. I like to go in not knowing anything about the book besides just the rough genre. I decided instead to look up the average rating on Goodreads, and most of the books I picked up were like 3.3, 3.5, and I really wanted something 4 and above. That's the threshold I generally like to set when I'm picking a book out without knowing anything about it. But if someone recommends a book to me and it's below a 4 on Goodreads, I may still read it. So the books that I picked out did have over 4 stars as the average rating on Goodreads. The first one that drew my attention actually had, I think it was an average of 4.45, which is quite high for Goodreads. And it was this one, A World of Curiosities by Louise Penny. I've never heard of this author before, but she seems quite prolific because this is number 18 in this particular series. This is a mystery, and I think I read that it's like a cozy mystery. So I am actually really looking forward to reading it, but it's not ideal because it's book 18, and a lot of people said to get all of the nuances of the character development and all of that, it's best to start from book 1. But I didn't want to start from book 1. First, because it wasn't available at the library that I was at, and second, because that's like 18 books before this one, and this is the one I wanted to read. I did, however, get the next book in the series, which is the newest one. This is book 19 in the series, The Grey Wolf, and I figured if I can't read it from book 1 onwards, maybe I'll start with this one and go backwards. When I was trying to decide about this book, I read the blurb and I saw that this is set in Quebec, which is a province in Canada, and this author is Canadian. That was a very fun field trip, and I am off this week. The writing studio is closed, so I have the rest of the afternoon to hang out and read. I think since it's not too humid today, I'm going to set up the hammock and read a bit on the balcony. I've read 3 chapters of The Grey Wolf and I like it so far. It's quite a cozy read, but there are a lot of characters and I'm sure I should know some of them, this being the 19th book in the series, but I am just meeting them for the first time, so I still have to get familiar with all of the names. They are coming fast and furious, even in the first 3 chapters. It's time for dinner, so I'm going to take a short break now. I think I'm just gonna have naan and dips for dinner because hubby is working kind of a strange shift. He's not gonna be home until 7:30 or 8 o'clock. So I've still got lots of time to read. It's only 4 p.m. now. After my naan and dips, which I will need both hands for, I will probably have a few snackies and continue to read at the kitchen counter. I just got back inside and Miss Lulu loves to lie on whatever I put on the living room floor. This is where we keep one of the arms of the hammock as well as the hammock itself, the fabric part, when we're not using it. She has made the hammock bag her bed. Oh, hi. I wanted to do a quick update on books before ending off this vlog. I did finish The Grey Wolf and I've gone ahead and returned it to the library. It wasn't the best choice in terms of a book to start with. It turns out that book functions kind of like a duology where there's a sequel that follows immediately after and it ends on a cliffhanger. So The Grey Wolf came out, I think it was last year, and The Black Wolf is going to come out this year. My original plan of reading from The Grey Wolf and going backwards wasn't really really appealing to me anymore after finishing that book. I'm going to pause on A World of Curiosities, even though I really want to read it. And I went ahead and borrowed the first book in the series, which is Still Life. Go ahead and satisfy my curiosity about how the 19-book series began. I am almost done the book. I only have around a quarter of the book remaining. The Grey Wolf was fine, but I think I would give it like a 3 out of 5. It was good enough for me to want to read another book in the series, and I'm liking this one a lot more. I like it because it's a smaller mystery. The Grey Wolf got very big and convoluted in terms of the plot. It was also bigger in terms of geographical scope. It happened in multiple places around the world, whereas this one is contained in a small town, and I really like that for like the cozy mystery vibe. With mysteries, I find it really hard to tell whether I'm gonna like the book because the reveal happens so close to the end. So we're still getting to the part where the reveal is going to happen. So I'm really liking this so far, and I'll know by today or tomorrow as to what my final rating is for this book. That is going to be it for this vlog, which was very focused on reading. I mentioned at the start of this video that I have been reading a lot lately, so I think I'll be talking a lot about books in coming vlogs, but I do have other topics I want to talk about, so I will save those for the next vlog, which I'm hoping will be coming very soon because I plan to start vlogging again almost immediately after this. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're having a really good summer so far, and I will see you again very soon in another vlog. Bye!